So I am going live. All right, so out there in virtual land, if someone could let me know that you can see and hear me, we are on cell phone transmission again because we haven't figured out what's going on with the internet via the laptop version. So that's good. Okay, so Margit is here, and I can tell that it's working. Thank you very much. All right, so let me begin as soon as there's a little bit of... Can you stop that? I'm hearing myself with a little lag. Okay, good. All right, so I will begin with a spiritual mind treatment. Well, what do we want? What do we want?
Love.
Love.
Prosperity.
Health.
Peace.
And peace. Okay, love, prosperity, health, and peace. That's enough. It'll cover everything. Okay, so this word is being spoken for each one. And if there is anyone or any place, situation in the world that you would like to have included, just think of that name, that place, that situation, and realize this word includes all of that, because this mind that I am recognizing is omnipresent. And it is impossible for this mind to be overwhelmed with too many things to do, given that this mind is, and always has been, creating an entire universe and everything in it. So this infinite mind can certainly handle human issues, no matter how many humans have the issue. This infinite mind can handle every single person, because this infinite mind is infinite, it is omnipresent, and it is all-powerful. It is the three O's: omniscient, omnipresent, and omnipotent. Everywhere present, all-knowing, and all-powerful. And there is no power above that divine creative power. That which creates, that which is seen, is never affected by that which it creates. Just as a child playing with their toys or making things out of clay, that thing that he or she creates cannot overpower the creator. So all of the horror and sci-fi films that have that happening is all realized to be the human race fear and deep-rooted belief. And by this word, that belief in a power able to overrule the divine creator is by this word erased, evaporated, vanished, and gone. There is only one cause, God. One creator, God. And there are no other gods. All belief in a Satan that fought with the divine angels and fell, whatever, it's all erased and evaporated. Those stories, marvelous, marvelous stories in that Bible, all are describing the formation of that false belief humanity holds, that there is good and bad, and that there is always conflict. The truth is, this one creator is one, undivided. It is one. It is a quality of love that is beyond human understanding. It is love as a force, love as a creative energy, love as an unconditional acceptance of what it creates. And it is a love that is infinitely intelligent, so that everything in this universe is divinely designed by an intelligence that is beyond human imagination. And yet, each one partakes of this quality of love and this quality of intelligence. Each one partakes of it, and so can sense it, have an experience of it. But whatever anyone's particular sense, definition, or experience of any quality, the activity of assuming that the divine is just an expanded idea that one has of these qualities, and thereby limited by one's definition is revealed not to be the way it is, and the belief and that habit of doing that is erased, evaporated, and vanished. Each one accepts that there is a peace beyond understanding, that there is a goodness to which there is no opposite, that there is a love and a joy that is always present. And that there is a something that creates out of itself all that is. And so the life that is and that has been given is a life that is filled with potential for expressing anything and everything, a life that in creating form, by definition, creates limitations, but a life that is not bound by anything it creates, and therefore it is this life that is the life of each one. And so no matter what anyone has had created for themselves, no one is limited by that definition. No one is limited by the form, the structure, the limitations, the conditions of any particular form. That which is created or experienced by anyone can be reassembled. It can dissolve back into the infinite source from whence it came and reemerge as something completely different. That there is no end to what is possible, that there is no end to the goodness that can be known, the love that can be known. There is no end to the abundance of good that anyone can receive. There is no end to the wisdom and the clarity of truth. There is no end to the God that can be known by anyone. And so each one this day reaches up to the infinite where anything and everything is possible, and calls a descent of an increase in realizing, in knowing what love is, what abundance is, what joy is, what peace is, and clearly what health is. That divine health is omnipresent, and that health is present right where each one is. And that anything that appears as anything less than health is merely evidence of a belief that needs some attention, to be released, to be healed, to be forgiven, because only the truth of perfect freedom, perfect love, perfect peace, perfect joy, and full and complete support of the universe, and the balance and the wisdom and the complete expression of that which has been given freely, easily, effortlessly, joyously, harmoniously, with no beliefs in opposition. Only this can manifest as health, because that is a consciousness knowing God is the source, and the God that is that source is good, and that is the life that each one is living. And any belief to the contrary is going to show up. And so each one welcomes the evidence of any belief to the contrary, and is empowered and inspired and does question that false belief, and that realization of truth descends and sets each one free. And the symptom, the condition, the situation is dissolved merely by the light of the realization of truth. There is nothing to be done. There is no pill to be taken. There is no more work or effort that needs to be made in the realization of truth, which is there. It's always present in the realization of it, which comes when bidden. It frees each one into their naturally created state, which is healthy, wealthy, loving, peaceful, harmonious, joyous, successfully expressing the unique talents and abilities he or she has been given. This is the natural state, the divinely designed state that is present within each one. That divine pattern is still with each one. And the realization that the divine pattern is present reveals what the divine pattern creates. And so each one is right now experiencing more of the abundance of good, prosperous goodness that fully supports each one in being the divine expressing in human form. Each one is filled with divine love that points the way. Each one is listening to its guidance. Each one is knowing the peace of realizing that there is no power outside of the all-good God. And the realization of realizing that he or she is loved, lovable, and loving, and that all is well. And that each one is infinite and eternal, and that each one is special and important, and that each one is blessed, and each one has been given this gift of life, a mind to use, a power to direct, and a heart and a soul and a body with which to enjoy and express this gift of life. And so all is well. That's the truth. I'm grateful that's the truth. I release this word to the law. Grateful that there is a law that says yes, and it has said yes, and so it is. Okay, I'm sorry. I tend to get all turned around while I'm treating. I try to touch the podium so I can be lined up, but never happens. All right, Reverend Rich, take us away.
Take you away where? We always say that, but where are we going?
Wind up with the podium.
Om Shri Sashe Mahaprabhu Ki Jai Harama Ma Ki Jai Om Shanti 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 Om. Sashe Mahaprabhu Ki Jai Parama Ki Jai Om Shanti 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 Om. May the ultimate truth and that which is beyond all boundaries be victorious. May there be peace, peace, peace. Om Shri Sashe Mahaprabhu Ki Jai Harama Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti Om. I am opening, my heart is ready to receive. I am opening, I am opening, my heart is ready to receive. I am opening, I am opening, my heart is ready to receive.
And so let's take a moment right now and decide what we're opening to. Because we're not just, I open to, and let whatever flotsam and jetsam of the universe is floating around. No, we are choosers. And so out of the infinite possibilities that we can choose from, let's choose what would satisfy our heart. I choose to know God is my source. Case closed. That's what I choose. So whatever you choose, let's claim it now, be open to it, and let this service be the divine answer to that. Reverend Rich.
And away we go.
Are you all done?
I know.
Welcome.
Yeah.
I know he's done. Okay.
I'm very confused. I know I'm supposed to play more.
That's all right. That's all right. Good morning. Welcome. My name is Susan Need. I'm a practitioner here at the center. We are a loving, healing, inclusive community that teaches and practices the principles of the science of mind for the spiritual growth and well-being of ourselves and the world. It's sort of like this. We change our thinking, we change our lives. We change our lives, we change the world. I just saw that in a YouTube video. I didn't make that up. It was a wonderful video that I was watching. Anyway, I have a little note on my notes that say, "Calm down, Susan." Because I'm so excited, I can't think straight.
That's what I say.
And it didn't help that I wrote this note, but I'll tell you why I'm so excited in a minute. But, we talk about practice. We practice the spiritual principles, and that's really what it's all about. We practice by being here. We practice by calling that wonderful message on the webpage that, is an affirmative prayer in both English and Spanish. We practice by taking classes. We practice by doing our affirmations. We practice by participating in these cool, fun things that Reverend Karen spits out to us, like this Bitzer $500 a month thing. I mean, and Reverend Karen said, have fun with it. Have fun with it. So I have to just share with you that I've been having so much fun with it. It's boggling my mind, and it sort of inspired me to figure out what to do next in terms of classes. So I told you a few weeks ago that my husband got this unprecedented call, right? And he gets a raise and on his base salary that ends up being about $550 a month. Well, we've got that month covered. And then I didn't tell you that the following month, because Richard and I are just I don't want to affirm that. But we do not pay attention to like our checks and our bills. I mean, we pay them because they're online and they just get paid. And we don't even write down like our check number and what we wrote a check for. Embarrassed to tell you that. I know, it's Reverend Karen's doing this, just so you can see. And so we get a letter that says our mortgage is paid. We had no clue that we were close to having our mortgage paid. And it was $650 a month. Well, that's another month. Well, I mean, that counts, right? I don't have to pay that bill.
Yes.
And so then I taught a class at the library at the end of July, because we got June and July covered now. And it was a great class. And I get a phone call a couple days later saying, you taught that class. Would you come teach that for us? And that's in August, and then another one in September, and another in October. Well, that's $150 a class. I'm like, okay, that's $150 a month. I didn't expect. We only have 350 more to go. Did I do that math right? Okay. I think so. And so then I go to Vermont to do this costuming for this wonderful organization that supports teenagers. And I go to leave, and they pay me $250 more than they were supposed to pay me. because I did such a good job, I guess. So let me see, 250 and 150, that's 400. I'm having so much fun. And I could go on. It just got bigger. It's getting bigger. I got more phone calls. I can't even begin to tell you what's going on because I'm having fun with Reverend Karen's practice. So I'm going to be honest with you. When I was in Vermont, I didn't do the practice. I was working 12 to 14-hour days. And I was having a great time. But it worked. Why? The word was already in the law. And not only that, I had already raised my mental equivalent. I believed I was getting I knew I could get $500 a month. And that is my blatant segue into our next class, which is about mental equivalence. And I got to tell you, it's such an important practice that we expand our way of thinking. And so I reread in The Science of Mind the whole chapter on mental equivalence. And it was like I never read it before. It's an incredible chapter. And those of you that have the book, I invite you to read it again. But let me see here. I put some notes here because I knew I'd be all over the place because I'm having so much fun. Let's see. Here it is. In the glossary, this is what Ernest Holmes says about mental equivalence. As we bring ourselves to a greater vision than the range of our present concepts, we can then induce a greater concept and thereby demonstrate more in our experience. And that's what we've been playing with. This wonderful random number of 500. And I'll be honest, when Karen said 500, I said, I wish he had said 100. Because I didn't at that time believe in myself that I had a container that big that I could from within expand without and express 500 more a month. But we can. It's a practice. And so, how big is your container? Is it the size of a thimble? No. It's unlimited. God is the source of our good. God is the substance of our supply. And so this class, when I read the student and the teacher manual, it's fun. It's practical. It's really about digging deep and figuring out where are you denying the truth. You know, for example, do you know, I go into a restaurant and this day I still look at the prices on the menu. I don't have to. And I realized that when I was reading the student manual and doing the work. I still look at the prices on the menu and look for the cheap one. Do you know, I don't have to buy clothing on sale. And I'm thinking, but I do. And on top of that, I shop at TJ Maxx and it has to be on sale. And these are these little things I'm noticing about myself. That is not raising my mental equivalent, is it? I know, we're all giggling. Who has that little thing that they do? Come on, raise your hand. I know, right? And anyway, I'm so excited about this class. The details will follow because Reverend Karen and I haven't ironed them out yet. And it'll come in a few weeks. I promise that. So keep an eye out. And there's another quote from SOM. Let's all raise our mental equivalents together, my friends. Yes. Let's do it for ourselves and the center and the world. And the world. Just like Reverend Karen's wonderful treatment. Anyway, we find that we attract to ourselves as much of anything as we can embody within. So what am I embodying within? TJ Maxx on sale. Okay. As water will reach only its own level, so our outward conditions will reproduce only our inner realizations. But we can learn to provide within the image of that which we desire. And so it is. Have a great day.
God is right here where I am. God is where I am. You wouldn't think I wrote this right. God is right here where I am. God is right here I am. Protecting and supporting me. God is where I am. Providing all good things for me. God is where I am. There is no place it can't be. God is where I am. There is nothing it can't know. God is where I am. There is nothing it can't do. God is where I am. Omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent, don't you know? Omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent, don't you know? God is right here where I am. God is where I am. God is right here where I am. God is where I am.
Do I see? There you are, Regina. Are we having fun yet? Are we having fun yet? Oh, this is... Okay, before I begin, after service last Sunday, I returned a $160 dress for a $40 dress I'm wearing now. So, Susan, you have just blown my mind. I'm like, wait a minute, what's wrong? Now my shoes are better, but, you know, they're more pricey. But I'm sitting there saying, wait a minute, is God speaking to me now? You know, what is my mental equivalent? So it's kind of mixed. But, oh, man. I'm like, how did you know? Okay, hi. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Regina Quince, your practitioner of the day. And I'm going to read something. I wrote it down because sometimes I do too get excited, and I just wanted to make sure it flowed. So, welcome everyone. First, I would like to thank Reverend Karen for her Sunday lessons based on Robert Bitzer's essays. I purchased the book. And you can get it. You can get it. This is a used one, but you can get it, I think, like A Books or something. And have been reading an essay a day for weeks as a part of my spiritual morning practices. I am so grateful to you, Reverend Karen, for leading me and all of us in the development of our spiritual consciousness. A few weeks ago, I shared with you a new practice I developed of rephrasing Robert Bitzer's statements into affirmative statements. Today, I am sharing statements I rephrased into affirmations. They are from 4 essays that have touched me deeply. And then I'll follow this with a brief spiritual mind treatment. I mean brief because these are a little long. I'm looking at Reverend Rich here. Before he plays me off, right? Okay. All right. So, take a breath. A deep one. And let's just relax. And let these statements resonate within you. Think about them. Feel them. See them. And you have the opportunity to be them. From Keep Faith with Yourself. I believe in my ability and recognize my developed talents. I have a sense of assurance a positiveness, and a demeanor that inspires me. I know who I am, what's going on, and know how to attain goals. I believe in my capacity to grow. I have a mission. I am accomplishing something worthwhile. I keep faith with myself, and I believe in my power. I take one step at a time that shows me I keep faith with myself. I am the image and likeness of this infinite mind that whispers my name. I keep faith with myself. From Support Your Belief. My belief is the law of my expression. I know what I believe and why I believe it. I reinforce my beliefs by my thinking and feeling. I spend the time thinking about my positive, dominant beliefs and how to strengthen them. I treat adequately what I want to demonstrate until it manifests. I support my belief by action in proof that my treatment is expected to work. I prepare myself to receive this good. From Reinforcements. My vision is clear, actually embodying in its mental perception what I really want to accomplish. I reinforce the divine idea with dynamic, positive ideas and actions. I am a wise decision maker and have a stick-to-itiveness to carry through. What I have in mind is reinforced by what I do and my fully completed demonstration. And the final essay, From Confidence Without Arrogance. I depend on a principle that never fails. I qualify myself to be what I want to be. I equip myself mentally, emotionally, and physically for what I want to be. I am the consciousness for it. My God awareness establishes the equivalent of God awareness in my expression in the outer world. I state I am success. I know I am success, and I bring that success to pass. I deliver the goods. And so, for each one here, each one listening to this treatment, this affirmative statements, for each one who'll listen to this video, there is only one mind, one creator, one source of good, the all-powerful, the all-in-all, the all of all, that chose each one to be in its image and likeness, to embody its qualities, its harmony, its divine order, its abundance, its success, its love, its peacefulness, its joyfulness. And each one has the consciousness to receive this good, for it is good. Therefore, this good unfolds in each one's experience based on each one's beliefs, and each one chooses to raise their beliefs, to trust in the Creator to deliver the good. For it delivers the good. So each one releases inhibitions, doubts, and fears, those things that are in contradiction to the truth of each one's presence right here and right now. Each one chooses to be grateful for each present moment that their awareness allows them to see and to be, to feel and to see. Each one in this gratitude, the state of gratitude, allows the law to do its thing in them, as them, and of them. And for this, we say amen, and so it is.
So it is.
Have fun.
I'm finding myself at a loss for words. And the funny thing is, it's okay. The last thing I need is to be heard, but to hear what you would say. Word of God speak, would you pour down like rain, washing my eyes to see your majesty, to be still and know that you're in this place. Please let me stay and rest in your holiness. Word of God speak. I'm finding myself in the midst of you, beyond the music, beyond the noise. All that I need is to be with you, and in the quiet to hear your voice. Word of God speak, would you pour down like rain, washing my eyes to see your majesty, to be still and know that you're in this place. Please let me stay and rest in your holiness. Word of God speak, would you pour down like rain, washing my eyes to see your majesty, to be still and know that you're in this place. Please let me stay and rest your holiness. Word of God speak. I'm finding myself at a loss for words. And the funny thing is, it's okay. Reverend Karen.
Reverend Rich. So, that one song you sang, you said you wrote?
Yeah.
The God is right here where I am,
Yes.
with me.
Yeah.
Right here with me?
God is where I am. I have to look. Because, I only wrote it. And if you ask me what key I sang it in,
No, I'm not going to ask
all
you.
of them.
Okay.
God is right here where I am. God is where I am.
God is right here where I am. I would request that you sing that a lot because it's,
I'll learn it.
he says he'll learn it. Okay, the reason why I make that request is it's like a great song to come up in my mind while I'm doing laundry or something, and like many of the songs that you choose, like as I go throughout my day, like those words will come to me, and so like a little earworm, whatever. So I'd like to know that God is right here where I am, because sometimes I act like I don't know that. Right? Okay, so moving forward, right? Mental equivalence. That's the thing. That's what we've been building using, yes, the collected essays of Robert Bitzer. And yeah, I now accept an increase of monthly income more than $500. So if you have not been a part of this, we're doing it this summer. You could join right now by just saying, I'm joining this one. I want this one. And then every day you state that affirmation, I am now receiving each month more than $500 an increase. I am now receiving a monthly increase of more than $500. Or however you need to phrase that so it's clear to you. I said it's a fun thing. It's a fun project. And just so you know, I am treating for each one of us every single day. So you got treatment backing you up. And then I'm adjusting the treatment as any of you let me know issues that are coming up for you. And I'm certainly adjusting the treatment as my issues come up for me. And our purpose is to give us some evidence that God loves us. That's why I'm saying this is a fun thing. If you're desperate for money, make that a different project. So don't put this into the increase of 500, because this is just for fun. But, you know, the desperate for money, do your spiritual work as if it's a separate project. And to realize that the divine loves us and says yes to us just because we said so. Not because it's really important, not because we're worthy of it, not because we, you know, went down to the river and baptized ourselves, or swung chickens around our heads. Mobile Center for Spiritual Living, you know what I'm talking about? So, good friend of mine, they do Mardi Gras, and things happen. So, so just because. So light, and yet, what we're really looking for is not the increase in money so much, but the evidence. You all saw that evidence in the joy of Susan going, oh my gosh, this happened, and this happened, and this happened, this happened. I mean, just pure joy. And she's like, and I wasn't even working on it that much. Yeah, that pure joy, that lightness of being. And so when we do demonstrate, we want it to be clear to our own little self, ourself, that God touched me. God cares about me. This silly little thing, even I. And so, okay, so that's what we're doing. That's my intention. However, for those of you who are starting to either demonstrate more and more or not demonstrate at all, and all this energy is like building up in you, I don't know what everyone's experience is, but wherever any of us is, the thing is, right now, I don't care how much you're demonstrating, there is still more God good to know. And our issues will come up. Will come up. And so what I want to talk about today, I was called to go to Eric Butterworth in his book, Spiritual Economics, You can see my copy is all beaten up, well used, well read. It's so cute. My version says over 100,000 copies sold. So it's a very old edition. 1993, I think. I think it's definitely over 1 million. And I was listening to a podcast this week, and the guest that was being interviewed said, well, I've been reading this really great book, Spiritual Economics by Eric Butterworth. So it's out there because it's spiritual truth. No one spoke or wrote better about spiritual prosperity, about money and work than Eric Butterworth. Robert Bitzer said exactly the same things in his talks and in his classes, and we're looking for it in his written work. But Eric Butterworth really focused on this. And so for those of you who may be a little bit believing that you have to work for a living, let's get clearer about this. Whether you're working for a living or not. Because maybe you're receiving money from retirement, from what you had worked for a living. So let's get clearer about this because it's important. Your life depends on it. Not your money. Your life depends on it. He quotes a German educator, Friedrich Froebel, who said, "The delusive idea that men merely toil and work for the sake of preserving their bodies and procuring for themselves bread, houses, and clothes is degrading and not to be encouraged." He wrote this around 1800. The true origin of man's activity and creativeness lies in his increasing impulse to embody outside of himself the divine and spiritual element within him. Butterworth says, work is a giving process. So, we do not work for money. We work as a way of giving who we are. And if you don't do that, you will be dead. Because just like any system that you've got, with the inflow of all that is divine, there's got to be an outlet. And the outlet is your work. You've been given a life. I've been given a life. We've been given a mind. We've been given a power. We've been given a creative ability. And we must create, or else it's all stuffed up in us. And it's not healthy. It's just not healthy. So we have to realize that we must give in order to express the life. He says earlier in this book, the universe owes you a living. The world owes you nothing. And so you owe the world a life, the life that you've been given, and the universe owes you complete support. So if we are not giving to the world, everywhere we are, no matter what we are doing, if we are not giving to the world, our outer form, if we are not giving who we are in the moment, and again, unconditional acceptance of who you are in any particular moment. It's not like, oh, I need to be the perfect me in every moment. That would make you crazy. And also that's not healthy and that's not the way it is. No, what you've been given is who you are. Your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, the mind of God, the power of God, and where you are in each and every moment, you give all of yourself to each moment. In other words, you express yourself, you be yourself, you be engaged in giving to the world who you are. And sometimes it might just be your full attention. Sometimes it might be your thoughts, your ideas. I posted on Facebook this week. I was waiting in a government agency, and at a certain point, a couple families came in, and see, all the chairs were all laid out, socially distanced, whatever. And I'm sitting there fully engaged. There wasn't a whole lot happening, so I was like sitting there, just fully engaged. Anything happening, and because I'm there. So I saw these families come in, and they were, trying to adjust their family situation to the way the chairs were laid out. And I got up like, no, you can move the chairs. And they were like, we can? I'm like, yes, I give you permission. Move the chairs. And so they all were moving their chairs. Well, it wasn't a lot that I found to give of myself but it was all that I was. I had brought my knitting, but I felt like I couldn't knit. I had to be on the alert. I was in a government agency. They might call my number. I had to be there. I had to be fully present. I had to evaluate how are they doing the numbers, because apparently it has nothing to do with numerical order. So, what's going on here? There's a lot of things happening there. But see, all of me was there. I was giving to whoever was in the room all of my best. And of course, when I finally got up to my particular agent to deal with, we just had so much fun. And got my business done, left, and went on to express myself in my driving home. So the thing is that human race belief about what work is for, like you work in order to make a living, or those thinking, I have to keep working because I need the money, and then I'm no longer working, I'm retired, along with a shutting down of your givingness. You see, a lot of this is unconscious, and it's not the truth, and so it's not going to work. At a certain point, you're going to have problems, one way or the other. And so one of an easy way to have evidence is to treat for monthly income exceeding an increase of $500 each month, which forces you to challenge whether you believe whatever your given stream of income may be, whether that is what you believe the way you get your money. Or do you believe that the universe owes you complete and total support for you to be and give all that you are? And he says somewhere here, I don't know if I have it, I found it. Under divine law, you receive as you have given, no more and no less. And so forgive yourself for your past, because you can't do anything about that. But the receiving that we receive today is determined by what we give today. So we can change this. We could change a whole lifetime of going to work and going, those people don't deserve me. I'm just here to collect a paycheck, or all those ways that we sold our soul. All those ways that we restricted how much love, how much harmony, how much goodness we would give based upon what we were getting. Dr. Tom Johnson, in a great phase of his spiritual expression, he said everything really boils down to whether you are coming from giving or getting. And what he said is, if you're thinking about getting, you will always have created for you a problem. So if you have a problem, somehow you've been thinking about getting rather than giving, because the universe supports you in giving yourself. So the question is, if you're having a block somewhere, again, the whole idea of work and everything is so screwed up by the human race and guilt and all that other sort of stuff. So to try to, get all that out, it's not about being worthy. It's about breathing. It's exactly the same as breathing. You breathe in and you need to exhale. It's that simple. It's not complicated. You need to say who you are. You need to be who you are. You need to give what you've got to give. You need to, and what are you, and who are you? What do you have to give? My gosh, all of your heart, all of your joy. What you're giving is your joy. I shared with you last weekend, I was a ticket checker at the Middlesex County Fair, and after my first experience there, as I was leaving, another ticket scanner who was at a slightly different portal than me, he like, called me down to him. I was out of there. I had stood for 6 hours. I'm ready to go. And he's like, I got to talk to you. And we didn't even know, said hello before or whatever. But of course we realized it was divine guidance. But what he said to me is like, I just don't understand people. Well, neither do I. Who understands? I don't even understand myself. I'm going to understand other people. Oh my gosh, don't get me going. But he wanted to get me going. He's like, this woman, this woman, it was 9:20 and she wanted to come in free. And I told her, you can't come in free till 9:30. And she went, oh, and walked away. And when I turned around, she was inside the fair. I don't understand people like that. And he was going on and on and on. And I'm like, I choose not to notice things like that. And he's like, oh. And immediately he smiled. And it got, I don't know. And I'm like, goodbye. I choose not to notice things like that. And then I found out the next night I did it with someone, I was working with someone who had worked with him the whole evening, and apparently he was coming from that point of view the whole night. I don't understand people. So apparently his gate got all the problem people, and my gate got all the people who were ready to have fun, and all their tickets worked, and we just had a ball. But see, he wanted to enjoy himself. He wanted to give joy, but he got all churned up inside. And so he stopped giving love. He stopped giving joy. He stopped giving the fun. In my mind, before I went, I'm like, the whole purpose of the fair is fun. Divine fun. I align with fun, and that's it. So even ticket collecting is fun. That's it. I did a treatment. I always do a treatment before I do anything at all, pretty much. And I treated that as divine fun working through me, and then I let that guide me. That's it. Case closed. So, are you still unconsciously believing that you owe God for giving you this gift of life, and you haven't paid the bill? This is some gift. Gift of life, a mind, a law, the whole universe, this planet to work on. It peopled it with all these people, very interesting people, and all these different systems and everything. My goodness, right? This is some gift, this gift of life. And if we were to believe that the gift must be paid for, we don't know how to receive. But with that belief with the divine, how can I ever pay you, God? I can't, so I must be a sinner. Please, please, I'm unworthy to receive you. Say but the word and I shall be healed. As my mother said, but they never said the word. They never said the word. What's the word? Yeah, they got to think about that little part. But that this gift of life has no price tag to it. It's been given to use any way you want to use it. But when you are using this gift of life in a greater and greater way, because life is expanding, so you may have been really using this life when you were 12 and maybe when you were 20, but life expands, so we have to use the gift more and more and more. And if we're not, when we are using it, we find we're supported in it in all ways. And when we're not using it, we find symptoms of negative stuff happening in our world. Maybe we're cranky, maybe our money gets tight, and it's not direct, as in, if I don't use my money, it's going to affect my money. No, it might be, if I don't love in a greater way, my money gets tight. In fact, Reverends Lloyd Strom and Marcia Sutton say in their course, Principles of Financial Freedom, they say that the role of work, jobs, well, actually, they might, I don't know if they say it there, they say it somewhere, one of their courses, that the role of a job is to keep us, no, I got clearer, thank you. The role of money is to keep us in relationships where we have yet to love. So here's another sticker that might be going on. If we're treating for more than $500 increase each month, whatever, and you find yourself at a blockage there, and your thoughts are thinking, I'm going to have to go back to work to get money. How about this for size? Maybe you have to go back to work for you to love. And money is supporting you in going back there and love. Now, I personally experienced this. I was in this teaching for a long time. I was a year or so away from becoming a minister. I didn't know that, but that's what, in hindsight, I realized. And I was being guided to go back into the office routine, which when I left it to become an actress, I swore I would never return to that 9-to-5 office cubicle situation. And 10, 15 years later, I was clearly being guided to go right back in to the prison cell of office work. And I checked my heart. I was honest with myself. And I said, yes, I believe I am being guided to go back in order to love that which I did not love when I left. And I didn't love the cubicles and the hours and the rules and the paper. Back then it was still paper. I did not love those things, and I had left it in a step forward to freedom, and I'm an actress and I had a ball, but I was being guided to go back there to love it all. And I said, okay, that's what I'm doing. So I went back into the office world, and no matter how I felt, every day I chose to, as the verb, love it. And I treated that I love my world completely. And if I was doing something boring, I would treat that I love everything I am doing. It was not the emotion of love, it was the spiritual practice of expanding my love. And I did all that was required for me to do. I did meet the office hours. I did all the overtime. I did paper. When I walked into the office, all the cabinets and everything were empty, and when I left, it was filled to the top because so much work had poured in, and there was so much that I did. And I did the best job I could do every single day in a job that I really was unqualified for. I treated that the divine guide me, and that I do what I am guided to do, and I had to practice. And this is love, giving loving attention to your world, no matter how you're feeling. How limited a love is it that you are experiencing it if you only express love when you feel it? Think about that. You will only express love when you feel it? I know that one, right? Or you don't deserve my love, or they don't deserve my love, or if they acted better, then I would love them. Well, okay, you can get that, but money will keep you in relationships where you have yet to learn to love. And so the workplace has been divinely designed to keep us in relationships that we would never have a part of otherwise, right? In that workplace where we have to deal with whoever's there. All kinds of people with all kinds of beliefs and rotten behaviors, and team players and non-team players, and, really. The flotsam and the jetsam of the society end up right in your workplace. And when you realize that you might be there to learn to love them, well, now you've got something to do. So there is a certain point in this increase of money that is infiltrating every part of our beings. You might not notice it out there virtually, but I developed a very, very stuffed up, congested nose this week. It happened immediately after I discovered I was going to receive an incredibly large sum of money. And I'm aware enough that when I heard it, I felt my heart stop. What? And I'm like, okay, just like when I heard the Olympian coach tell me, "You are strong," I went, what? Same thing. When I heard that this large sum of money was going to be coming to me, it was due me, owed me, whatever, I'm like, what? And then the wheels. What am I going to do with that? I'm going to think. I don't know. Boom, stuffed nose. So, which is a metaphysical cause of confusion. It's evidence of inner confusion. So I'm confused because my mental equivalent has not grown to receive, apparently, comfortably, this particular sum of money. So, because God is all, it doesn't matter what slice of God you take. It's like a hologram. All of God can be viewed from that point. And so it's true of our money, but it's true of us, right where each one of us is. All of God can be viewed. And so we need to realize that, because God is all and God loves all unconditionally. We're always being asked to be a greater and greater avenue to express the divine love that is present, as this guy said. The true origin of our activity and creativeness lies in our increasing impulse to embody outside of ourselves the divine and spiritual element within ourselves. And so work is necessary. And so he points out everywhere that the right hand should not know what the left hand is doing. It's a little tricky. I'm giving and I'm giving and giving, and the money is coming. And what we've done as humans is like, I give and then I receive, right? So my giving is what's the cause of my receiving. And what we need to realize is we're always receiving. It's not contingent on anything. All we're doing is giving what we've received. It's not give and then receive. It's we've received, then we give, and then the universe abhors the vacuum, so it keeps filling the tank, which is us. It keeps giving us more, and the more we give, the more that we can receive. The more that we give, the more that we can receive. But only because we've cleaned the tank out. And so more is received. So just because our human experience of the timing of things mimics what the human race believes about, oh, you got to work for a living, it's never been true. Back in 1800, it wasn't true when this guy said this. It's never been true. Jesus said it's never been true. The thing is realize, just like when we were in the womb, or just like we are now in the womb of a universe, we are completely dependent on the divine giving us our sustenance, giving us our life support, giving us the air we breathe, giving us gravity, giving us everything that we need in order, giving us some sort of law that takes form as a body that can wander around. It's giving all these things to us, and our only concern to have a healthy, happy, prosperous life is, how do I give? Me. And so realize, if you reject yourself, you're going to have issues, because you're rejecting the gift that was made, which is you. You got to accept the way you are. This is who I am. I am what I am. You got to accept who you are, the way you are, and give what you've been given. And so no one's perfect, because that doesn't even exist. You are you. And sometimes you're tired. Sometimes you need to sit when you're scanning the tickets. Sometimes you need to bounce around. Sometimes you need to withdraw from the crowds and drink to get clear of that inner wisdom within you. Sometimes you need to do that so you can know how to give in a greater way. But your giving is as natural as breathing. And we want to get our giving free and clear of all those human race belief impediments that we've attached to it, which have worn us down and tired us out and screwed us all up, so that we're frustrated, so that we might work and build a lifetime of resentments and continue to struggle. None of that was intended for us. So we begin, right? Our practice seems simple, fun enough to begin with, right? But right now I'm dealing with, oh my God. Years ago, the year I got that job back into the office, I qualified to be hired as a minister. And I was coming down here to Princeton once a month while I was working at that office. I was coming down here once a month to speak while this community was trying to figure out what to do that year without a minister, and whether they were going to, who they were going to hire, and how they blah blah. They had all these things that they had to do. But in that year, I thought about myself, and I said, okay, where have I not yet demonstrated that God is the source? And I thought money. I said, all right, that's my project. So the project we're doing now is the project I did back then. So that was 1995 for me. 1995, I treated every day for an increase. And an increase of more than whatever. And I tallied up all my money each month. And I kept increasing it when it increased. And that year, my monthly income increased $3,000 a month. Back then, just so you know, for about 3 or 4 months of the project, there was no increase at all. So if you're there, because we've been a little bit over 2 months, so if you're there like nothing's happened yet, keep on keeping on. It's a law. Keep on keeping on. It's the work that we're doing, it's building your mental equivalent. You don't have to worry about when it shows up, because whenever it shows up, you're just going to add to it some more. So this is just a daily thing now. And so I'm sharing that with you because if you're like, wait a minute, I didn't get big checks like Susan or Karen did, whatever. The thing is back in 1995, I did a full year of this project. and my monthly income increased $3,000 a month in that time. And I will share with you at that time, when it went to the 3,000 more, I stopped because I said, whoa, that's too much. And I stopped. I just lost interest. I got busy. But you see, that consciousness is still there. And so when I renewed this, yeah, I'm not surprised. Well, I am surprised. But since it happened, like that 3,000 returned, and then some, I'm like, okay, it's because all that work I did back in 95 is still there. I'm just giving it agreement, and I'm allowing it in my life. But I am at that point now where I am going where I stopped back in 95. Oh, that's too much. I'm there again. And my nose is stuffed. Okay? And that's okay. That's okay. This time, breathing in the breath of God and relaxing and continuing to treat, because I said I'll do it. I guess I'll do it till Labor Day. Maybe more. We'll see. But I want to move past whatever that belief is in me that's not the truth. Because I know there will be more beyond that. But let's get this one cleared up. So, wherever you are, keep on keeping on. Keep it light. Let me know what beliefs or issues or even what your factual experience is, so that I can adjust the spiritual mind treatment accordingly. But right now, the way that I'm treating is I'm like, there is nothing that in anyone that is afraid of this increase. And the divine intelligence and wisdom of God goes right along with the increase of money, so that each one is clearly guided as to what to do with all of this additional abundant good. Right? We're moving from I'm not enough to even Stephen to more than enough. And then way more than enough for me. So I want every one of you to get as much as good God as there is for you in this project, because you can see now, I'm pretty sure you can see, we're talking about way, way, way more than money, right? We are. So, having said all that, Reverend Rich is ready to sing. So let's contemplate that. I'll come back and do another treatment. Go ahead. You ready? He's ready.
So we're talking about love.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about fun. What's more fun than the Beatles? What's more fun than the Beatles?
Than the what?
Beatles.
Oh, the Beatles.
Beatles, as Ed Sullivan said. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Nothing you do that can't be done. Nothing you can sing that can't be sung. Nothing you can say, but you can learn how to play the game. It's easy. Nothing you can make that can't be made. Nothing you can say that can't be saved. Nothing you can do, but you can learn how to be in time. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. All you need is love. All Nothing you can know that isn't known. Nothing you can see that isn't shown. No way you can earn that isn't where you're meant to be. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need.
That's all we need. Okie dokie. So this word is being spoken for each one. There is only one life. That life is the life that God is creating in expression. And each one is an expression of this one life, fully supported by that life. And so any belief that one has to support themselves, all separation from this life, and all limitation or restriction in living and using this life, and all the reasons why it might be done, is all erased, evaporated, vanished. Each one is given this gift of life with the capacity to love this life more and more, to love all that this life is in expression more and more, to expand the capacity to express and be this love, and to enjoy every moment of it. Any belief that loving more is an effort, is a chore, is erased and evaporated. That love that each one is expressing is the love that is already present. And so each one is loving this gift of life and seeing the love of God, that divine creator, bring to each one an increase in monthly income that exceeds $500 each month, month after month. And each one in the receipt of every extra increase of a penny realizes it came from God, it came from love, and this and more is what has been given. I have come that ye shall have life and have it more abundantly, is the true, real experience of each one and all the good that goes with it. I am grateful that this is truth and that I release this word to the law and the law makes it so. And so it is. And that's the way it is.
Sit up, oh man, amen, 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 amen. I said, amen, 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 amen.
And that's the way it is. Keep on keeping on, folks. See you next time. Okay, out there in virtual land, let me say hi. Hi, Damaris. Jean, welcome to you. Kathy, glad to see you. Excellent. Oh, thank you for all the little hearts and everything else. Okay, so I'm glad you joined us, and have a wonderful week. See you next week. Bye-bye.